Julie Burkheim, and I'm the chairwoman of TRAS, Transversale des réseaux arts sciences, in English, the Transversal of Art Sciences Networks. And together with Doreen Jeshko, who is the coordinator of TRAS, I'm going to present you a bit the network. The network is a non-profit organization since 2017. Before that, it existed in an informal way with some important founding members. It is engaged in the development of relations between arts, sciences, and technologies. And together, all the members create, at least try, to create favorable conditions for the encounter between artists, scientists, or technologists, and in a broader way, researchers, on a national and a European level, in order to allow the emergence of new arts and sciences projects, but also the sharing of ideas, best practices, and somehow also protocols of these encounters. And of course, the production and the circulation of art sciences, artworks, and in a more broader sense, the accompaniment of artists. We have a very important document that links us all together, as we are a very diverse group, which is the Charter of TRAS. When someone becomes a member, it's true that he subscribes a bit to, or she subscribes a bit to this charter.
The TRAS network is made up of 20 French-speaking members from various fields who represent the diversity of arts and sciences projects. For example, members are performance halls, institutions of higher education, organization of scientific cultures and digital arts. But the common point is to raise the question of the relationship between arts and sciences and to implement long-term projects that cross artistic and scientific research fields. If you want more information about TRAS member, I invite you to visit our website réseaux-tras.eu.
To give you just a quick overview, we organize, of course, a members meeting that takes place 3 or 4 times a year, each time at a members venue usually, and usually also during a festival, art sciences festival, or an important moment for this venue where we can also meet artists and other professionals. We organize also public meetings with debates and workshops, either open to professionals or to the broad public, also to make this question of art science in this relation more tangible for everyone. We encourage common projects, and also, I think it's an important point, through the specificities developed by each member, we try to monitor and analyze our practices and the practices that facilitate the implementation process of art sciences activities. And as a consequence, we work and more also on the idea of a resources platform for everyone, for various artists, professionals, educational sector, or academics, and of course for us to be used. We are also organized in working groups. First, the European and international development. Another one is working on the question of resourcing, of course, on the question of accompaniment, production and presentation of arts and sciences artworks. And last but not least, also the question of artistic and cultural education, which in a French context is quite important. To give you maybe a concrete example of an outcome in these working groups. We have just in the group of artistic creation, let's say it very short, have developed an internal, at least at the moment, internal platform, but we will open up to third members, a platform to exchange information on ongoing arts and sciences projects, where each member can find all the infos, would it be artistic statement info, technical info, dates of residencies or presentations, etc. Also, of course, infos on scientific field or scientists that was involved in the creation. We also stamp artistic projects in order to promote arts and sciences artistic projects, and in particular these ones. Regarding our European and international development, we have begun reflecting on this question in 2018. And the first idea was a bit to create and think about a mapping of art sciences and technologies initiatives in Europe. So we launched some kind of small study, which is more a mapping, a cartography of these initiatives that could lead to a bigger study, in fact. And the idea was to map organizations that are dedicated to arts and sciences relations, completely dedicated to them, but also organizations that have only an art and sciences program, or organizations that present art and sciences artworks without obligatory having a program. This mapping, you can visualize it, in fact, on our website. And the idea was really to have also a picture to who are in the other European countries, but also on an international level, who are these organizations and actors who are developing those kind of initiatives, and which type of problematics and way of doing things do they implement. This was a bit the first step, and very quickly afterwards we decided to organize prospecting trips. So we have done 2 prospecting trips, one in Poland and one in Germany, and we will continue. We just need to wait to be able to be mobile again outside of France. And in 2020, in February 2020, while having done all this, getting into contact for the mapping, doing these prospecting trips, we organized a big European encounter where we invited all the actors that we had mapped, in a sense, and met. The idea was a bit to see and exchange very broadly, also with this idea of, there were several ideas. First, the idea was a bit to understand how everybody functions, what are the problematics, what are the perspectives for each of us, and how could we implement a network on a European level. In short, the question was to say, what does it mean to be a network today? Also, more concrete things like how could we share best practices, but also how can we promote and help artistic projects circulate in Europe or co-produce together.
The TRAS network intends to continue supporting arts and sciences projects through several concrete actions. First, we will open our online and contributive platform for exchanges around artistic projects to our international partners. We will also organize international mobility for artists and scientists to give them the possibility to present their work during public events. And those events could also be the opportunity to create meetings between international organizations in order to favorize the share of experiences in the implementation of this type of projects. And in the long term, we also organize other actions like the organization of trainings and courses to give keys on how to design and implement art sciences projects. But beyond these concrete actions, the network intends to support those practices by making their organization and their projects visible in order to lead to the recognition of this specific field in international public policies. If you want more information about the network and our activities, feel free to contact us.